This week, Ducati updated their XDiavel Power Cruiser range in order to meet Euro 5 emissions regulations that come into place at the beginning of next year. But in the process, they've added a couple of new additions, with the XDiavel Dark and the XDiavel Black Star now joining the existing S model. So in this video, we'll go through all of the details of the new 2021 range and find out what's been added to those new additions. But before we get started, if you're new here and you want to see all of the latest new bikes for 2021, then please do remember to hit subscribe. Ducati are launching new bikes every week for the next 3 weeks, and I'll be covering all of them, so please do remember to hit subscribe if you want to see those videos as soon as they go live. Firstly, a quick word on that engine update, which was a necessity in order to comply with the new Euro 5 emissions regulations, which come into place in January 2021. The 1262cc Testa Stretta Twin has actually inherited a silencer layout derived from the Diavel 1260, and along with a new engine calibration, it's actually gained 8 horsepower versus the Euro 4 version, with a new peak power of 160 horsepower at the same 9,500 RPM. Torque remains the same as well, with a peak of 93 foot-pounds or 126 Nm occurring at 5,000 RPM. A lot of bikes have been updated for Euro 5 at the moment, and as a result of being fitted with more restrictive exhaust systems or revised engine calibrations, a few of them have lost the odd horsepower or Nm here and there. So it's great to see the XDiavel actually going up in power and maintaining peak torque at the same time as meeting the Euro 5 emissions criteria. Ducati have a long history of creating dark versions of their models, starting way back in 1998 with the Monster 600. More recent examples include the 800 and 1100 Scramblers, and the Street Fighter V4 was also recently updated with a new stealth matte paint job. There are links to videos about those bikes in the description below in case you haven't seen them already. The XDiavel now gets the same treatment, with the Dark Edition replacing the standard XDiavel as the most affordable bike in the range. The finish is described as dark stealth with a carbon black frame and matte black wheels, and Ducati say that the total black livery has also been extended to the mechanical components. When you compare it to the more premium bikes in the range, you'll see that some of the machined detailing is missing in favour of a purely black painted treatment, which is obviously where they've been able to cut costs to offer this at a lower price. But the fundamentals of the XDiavel Dark are the same as the other bikes in the range, with the full power of the 1262 V-twin on tap, a Bosch IMU that opens up cornering ABS, traction control, cruise control, and 3 riding modes of sport, touring and urban. There's also adjustable suspension, radially mounted Brembo brakes, LED lighting and a TFT dash. So the XDiavel Dark represents a great option if you want the pure performance cruiser experience delivered by this lineup, but without any of the fancy looks or additional tech. UK pricing starts at £16,995 for this model. For 2021, the XDiavel S remains pretty much the same, although of course it gets the same engine upgrade for Euro 5. But at £20,695, that's quite a significant jump of £3,700 from the XDiavel Dark. So what do you get extra for your money? The 50mm fully adjustable upside down fork is pretty much the same, but it does receive a DLC or diamond-like coating on the stanchions, which reduces friction for more responsive suspension travel. And although the brakes of the XDiavel Dark are pretty high spec, with Brembo's M4.32 calipers on hand, the XDiavel S gets full-on superbike braking performance with their top-of-the-line M50 calipers. In terms of tech, there's an LED daytime running light, as well as a Bluetooth module to enable Ducati's phone-integrated infotainment system. From what I can tell from the Ducati Configurator website, this can't be spec'd on the XDiavel Dark despite it having the TFT screen. So if controlling phone calls, messages and music is important to you, then this could be a deal breaker for the Dark. The finish on the XDiavel S is also more premium, with the machine-cut details on the engine and wheels, a brushed swing arm finish, and billet aluminium mirrors. Side by side, you can see that the XDiavel S just has that extra little bit of detail which elevates it above the Dark. But if you do want to go the extra mile above the XDiavel S, then there's now the range-topping Black Star edition, which comes at £21,295. Mechanically and electronically, it's the same spec as the XDiavel S, but it gets this flashy-looking paint scheme in black and grey with hints of Ducati red that they say was inspired by the world of sports cars. The engine head covers have also been painted red, and it has a high-grip suede seat which they say echoes the sportiness of the brand. The gloss black wheels of the Black Star are actually forged as opposed to cast on the S, which is responsible for 2 kilograms of weight savings for a total dry weight of 221 kilograms. It's worth pointing out that the XDiavel Dark is also 2 kilograms lighter than the S, probably because it doesn't have some of the extra equipment like the daytime running light and Bluetooth module. But still, a reduction in rotating unsprung mass will be more noticeable in terms of handling, so the Black Star could be worth the 600 quid upgrade if you're considering the S. But ultimately I think this one comes down to the looks, with a much more in-your-face appearance owing to those Ducati red highlights than the more muted semi-stealth S. But as always, I'd love to know which one you guys like the most down in the comments below. The red engine covers are certainly a bit different for a Ducati, but I think it all comes together pretty nicely, and I love that paint job on the tank as well as the forged wheels.